Five, four, three, two, and one. Oh, too bright. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this color. Stand by. This could work. Right. Good evening. Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. And welcome to another live episode on Disqualified Dads. I am your humble host, Coach Farouk. And Mr. Ryan may not be joining us tonight. I'm not sure. He's got some stuff he's got to deal with last minute. So I'm going to have to wing this on my own, possibly. Now, let's make a start. Right, guys, good evening. Welcome to another episode. Just as I mentioned a minute ago, Mr. Ryan might not be joining us tonight. He has some last minute issues he's dealing with. So I'm going to try and answer the questions best I can. I will be relying on everyone in the chat to answer some of the questions. We've got a lot of regular guys that come on. Cossit. What's the other brother's name? There's another brother, like I said, very clever. He answers loads of questions. So in the chat tonight, for those who had the answers, I will bring the answers up to help answer some of the questions. I will answer the questions that I can be sure of myself. I'll answer them. And at the same time, while I'm here, I can still provide mental support, we can still support each other. We can still give each other ideas, and we can help each other get through this turmoil, get through this conveyor belt that is the family court. So yeah, regardless of what happens, I still show up. No matter what, I'm here, lads. Right. So I ain't gonna mess about. Let's jump into it. Let's jump straight into it. Right, AMP 786. Evening, gents. Quick question. I happened to have a DBS clearance last week following my federal. Police disclosure has been requested as mother claimed domestic abuse a few years ago. Okay. I assume the police have a record on me, although I have never been formally charged by them. So does having a recent DBS and soon enhanced DBS help my case against DA, or will CAFCAS object? Now, if I remember correctly, look, someone in the comments, please correct me, yeah? If you were never charged, I don't believe it shows up on your DBS, because when I say if you weren't charged, so let's say you were NFA'd, presume you were NFA'd back then. If you were NFA'd, I don't believe this shows up on any record. So police disclosure will help in the sense that if no other previous comes up, then surely that's got to be a good thing. Yeah, I don't see why CAFCAS should object to it. I don't get it. I assume the police have a record on me, although I've never been formally charged with them. So does having the recent DBS and soon enhanced DBS help my case against DA, or will CAFCAS object? In theory, technically, it helps because it shows that you've got no history and you've got no previous. Now, if they did a disclosure, did a check, and let's say on your DBS something showed up, then obviously that gives them more ammo. So look, in my mind, hold on, let me bring your next one down. By the way, the DBS is to allow me to work with young, elderly, and vulnerable people. If I'm clear to do that, then I'm hoping there shouldn't be an objection from my own perspective. Right, okay, look, the thing is, yes, in theory, what you're saying is, I get what you're saying in theory, yeah. So regardless, I know people that work with like doctors. I know doctors, people who work in the medical field, psychologists, child psychologists. I know people like that who were in family court. And even though they were safe to do all of that, they were safe to work with patients and clients and all that sort of stuff. When it comes to family court, it's a different beast. Remember this, and I keep saying, family court is a bubble that operates independently away from normal common sense and normal society. That's how it is. So this doctor, there was a psychologist, medical people, medical professionals that work with the vulnerable. In family court, they were treated like criminals. That's the reality. So do everything you can. Everything is an advantage. Anything that can go in your favor and that can help you, great, use it. But do not associate, like I said, normal rules of engagement with the family court. Now, I keep repeating the same rules of engagement with family court. Treat it like a circus. Don't take it too seriously. And do not expect common sense to prevail. But ultimately, just do your best. That's all you can do, because you can only present you. You can only present the best version of you. You with me? Sorry, let me sort this lighting out. I'm just messing with the lighting as we're doing this. So, yeah, that's what I say to you, Mr. Amp. Let me highlight your last comment as well. And the minute I suspected things going wrong, I took the photos of everything, taking kids apart, etc. If you suspect an argument with your partner in a secret record conversation, take care. Yes, very good advice. Record everything, log everything. The only weapon you have is your. Hold on, I see what he's answering. Hold on, before I carry on, Cosip has just touched on the DVS things. Let's touch it. Cosip, if you can help answer any questions in the chat, if you can apply any knowledge information, feel free to jump in and I'll read out your answers and whatnot as well. Right, Dan touched on DVS a few weeks ago. Local police force will have it on their record, but if NFA shouldn't be on PNC, was my recollection. I believe that would be correct. It won't show up on the DBS straight. I know this for a fact. It shouldn't do. I pretty much know this for a fact. DBS should be fine. If you can use that just as any extra to present to CAFCAS, just use it. It can't do no harm. Let's put it that way, yeah? So use everything you have. Use everything to your advantage. Right, Mr. M, tips on how men can future-proof when having children and not married in the UK. What red flags to look out for? Right. So let's address this. How men can future-proof when having children and not married in the UK. So if you're married abroad. So look, there's two parts to this, but we need more information. If you're saying that you're going abroad, right here, let's take, for example, you're from the Indian subcontinent, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. You're going abroad, or the old Morocco, you know, the older Morocco, what I'm looking for. The Morocco model, the Algeria model, whatever it is, yeah. The problem is with that, number one, if you marry abroad and you have to bring her over, so if she's coming over, that you're automatically registered. She has to come over as your wife. She has full rights. If you let's say get with a woman in England who doesn't have her right of stay, if you're in a relationship and she doesn't have the full visa, full right of stay, yeah, even if, let's say, she's your missus, because apparently, if I remember correctly, you've got to be together for 5 or 7, 8 years before they give her full, right to remain or whatever it is, yeah. But your marriage has to be civil registered. If during that period she claims abuse, she gets automatically given right of stay. She gets full visa. It's done. It's granted. So even if she's from abroad, she's incentivized to claim abuse to get the passport and ditch you. This is known. This is like a known thing now. This is a loophole. This is an angle that is used. So the abroad model comes with its own risks. Now, if you have So look, Mr. M, give us more detail. Like, so are you saying specifically how men can future-proof when having children and not married in the UK, or both? So we'll go over those red flags today. So look, give us more details on specifics. So if guys are in England, getting married, gonna have kids, gonna have a family here. Your missus is from England as well. How do you protect yourself? What steps can you take? And then if you're marrying abroad and bringing her over, what are you still at risk? Is it the same risk or more? So we'll cover all of it. We'll try and cover all of that. Stray Dad, hey guys, hope all are well. Yeah, we all good, bro. We all good. Right, Mr. Cal is asking, Stray, how did your fact find go? Mr. Cal, you've got a good memory. I rate that. Rate that. That cat Godfrey was shocking. Mother clearly trying to alienate and take our child away. What can I do? Finding made harm to child and to mother, DA, and FA. Was shocking. Mother clearly trying to alienate, take our child away. What can I do? Finding made harm to child and to mother. All right, so you were found guilty. Basically, they found you guilty. They always find something. Right, Stray Dad, not good, mate. Sorry to hear that. What's FA? Financial abuse. FA is financial abuse. So it's FA is for he's been done for financial abuse. So he's been done for domestic abuse and financial abuse. Right, so Straight Dad, not good, very sorry to hear. What happens now then? I've got my fact find soon and I'm dreading it. Yep, fact find are dangerous for fathers, but look, you can only do your best. Right, Straight Dad. Now, Mackenzie said, with regards to financial abuse, the old stereotype of the husband coming home, giving the wife a tiny amount of money for the household and going down the pub with the rest. Yeah, that's the old. But the other thing with the FA is they say if you have a joint account, but she doesn't have any cards, she has no cards to it. She has an account where where you have all the debit cards, she has no access to it. It's that sort of thing. Unfortunately, they try and go down that line. Right, Straight Dad. Financial abuse at Kilgore. Hopefully your judge ain't a male who wore a thong, bro, or so unfair a bias. Mr. Ryan is right. Dangerous. It comes down to who seems more credible. Yep, fact find are dangerous for fathers. The key with the fact find is it's best avoided from the start. Ultimately, if you can dodge it, dodge it. But look, if you get drawn into it, unfortunately, it's high risk. It is high risk, ultimately. Right, so when mother claims, Mr. Amp again, Mr. Amp 786. So when mother claimed domestic abuse, I think the police wanted to take action based on allegations of coercive control, I'm presuming. But mother did not want to take action. I assume this was shown police disc, or would it still show NFA? So when mother claimed DA, I think the police want to take action based on allegations of coercive. But mother did not want to take action. As soon as we're showing police disc, or would it still show NFA? It will still show NFA. I mean, if it's NFA, they won't show up. That's the point. If it's NFA, that's it. No further action. Which they investigated and they found no further action to be taken upon investigation. So nothing, it doesn't go on any record. Right. If Mr. Cossip, if she has her own bank account, access to cards, lines of credit, etc., then it's not FA. You must push back on things like budgeting, as they are sensible things in a relationship. See, this is a very good point, and this is exactly it. The thing is this, Cossip. Again, you have to discredit. So if you've got statements to show, look, I've got my account, she had her own account, she had a card. So yeah, you push back on all of this 100%. If you've then also been giving her money, you take your statements and you show all the transactions you make to her, money that you gave her, housekeeping. When you pay for all the bills and stuff like that at your account, you demonstrate that as well. You show that and you push back on that. But the problem is, like I said, with the fact find, you might, so you can push back on that, get off on that. But like Mr. Ryan said, fact finds are dangerous for fathers. So they will find something ultimately. But you can only do what you can do. So push back on that. I was accused of, again, financial abuse. Classic financial abuse, but there's years of statements showing me sending money the other way. So how do you work that out? Right, let's go back to this question until further comments. Let's go back to this question here. How can men future-proof when having children? See, I've been thinking about this for a while. You get into a relationship, you're in love, she seems sensible, you're both seemingly happy and on the same page. But the fact is, the reality of life and basic understanding of power dynamics between any two people is when someone has leverage over you. When someone has power or leverage over you, how will they behave? Now, once you've had a child, you're in a relationship and you've had a child together. 9 out of 10 times, predominantly, she's going to be the main carer of that child. So she has leverage over you. And the truth is, it's only at that point you find out who someone really is. You find out when someone is who someone really is once they have leverage over you. And there has to be an acceptance that once you have a child with this person, you've given away a certain amount of power. So then if you've been through this already, one side of me says, just be prepared for that loss if it comes. And because you've felt it before, you've been through it before, we know what's expected. Enjoy it while it's there. If it ever happens, don't let it have leverage, or make it clear that the day comes, take the kid, go, whatever. If you want to play that game, no problem. Do you then take that stance? I've questioned myself. If I have, for argument's sake, let's have kids again. Do I take that stance that this could happen? Potentially, I could lose these new kids that I've got, kids. Do I stay emotionally prepared to say, you're not going to have this leverage over me because I've lost 3 kids already? If I lose this one, this 2, this week, no problem. I'll meet someone else, I'll make some more. It doesn't matter. Then they have no power over you. You're prepared to walk away, no one has any power over you. That's number one. But that's obviously a very extreme position. I don't recommend it, and I don't want to be going through that. I wouldn't want those kids to go through that, let alone go through that myself. But that's just on the understanding of power, right? The other thing is, do you become the main carer? Do you turn this whole thing on its head and say, you know what? I'll be the main carer. I'll go against the whole of society, all the bullshit they keep telling men. Your job is to provide, protect. You should be doing this. You should be out working, which is then, because think about the social construct. We've been conditioned to believe that it's our job to go out and work and provide. And that's you as a man, as a father, doing your duty, providing for that child, going out there working, sacrificing your time with that child. You're out the best hours of your day, you're out working, you're not with that child. Because that's what you've been told by society, that this is your job. This is you being a father. But when the relationship ends, you're not the main carer. So now this sacrifice that you made, your time with that child, because society told you, we were conditioned, we were programmed, we've been told this is our duty. When you enter the system, this is the very thing that is now used against you, saying, you're not there, you weren't there, she's the main carer, hence she gets priority over those children and over your rest of your work life and finances and everything you work for. because we were told this was our job. We were conditioned to believe this. So then, do you turn this on its head and say, no, I'll be the main carer? How hard is it really? Pickups, drop-offs, bit domestics. Mrs. a professional, lawyer, doctor, dentist, she can work, no problem. You go be the breadwinner. Can we do that? Can we say that? I would happily say that. I don't care. I don't follow any social construct or any ideology from anyone or anywhere. I just make my own up now. That's it. I work with what suits me now. So the question is, I'm asking you guys, tell me what you lot think. Should we turn this on its head? I say, no, I'll be the main carer. Or I'll tell you what, why don't you work 3.5 days a week and I'll work 3.5 days a week so we get equal time with that child. So when this all goes to pot, if this goes south, I can say, no, I am a 50-50 carer of these children. And even if you say, no problem, you've been thrown out the door again, father's got no contact, at least while you were with that child, you spent those best hours of the day with that child. Do we then do that? Or what you could do is, the third option is, you're in a relationship. If you go in to protect yourself, in order to protect yourself, you have to know what you're up against. We are now all familiar with the system. We know how little rights we have. We know what cards we're going to get dealt when the time comes, if the time comes. God forbid, hopefully it doesn't come. But then I would say the only way to protect yourself is if you sense there's trouble in the waters, there's problems in the relationship, take charge, become resident parent. You become resident parent, you control the game. So there's that aspect to it. And then in the relationship, if there is no financial incentive to claim abuse or break it off, there's no motives, like I said, just rent a house, live within your means. If she has no financial motives to do this, that might then motivate her to work at the relationship. Look, there's quite a few factors. Or prior to you getting in a relationship, like I said, like I spoke to a brother earlier this week, you sit down with your financial advisor, you sit down with the likes of myself, Mr. Ryan, and say one of a professional. And what we do is we construct an accountant, obviously a finance guy, an accountant, perhaps a tax guy if you need to combine, and the likes of me and Mr. Ryan, and you construct the systems where all your assets, it might cost a bit of money, but the financial incentive is ring fenced and gone. So you can still provide, you can still play your role, but you don't stand to lose everything and she don't stand to gain everything. That is the motivator to work at it and just be legit and be in a relationship potentially. So there's a few ways around it, but let me pick up some of these comments. All right, there we go. Straight up, financial abuse at Calvert. Financial abuse at Calvert. Hopefully you're judging email. Oh, I read this one. What am I saying? I'm going around in circles. Right, so when I'm claiming DA, I think the police want to take action. Yeah, I read this. Hold on, sorry guys. I'm a bit all over the place. Here we go. Straight out. What can I do? Can I appeal it? Can I appeal as it was an unfair process? IK allegations not true. It's hard now as I was nervous and confused with questions asked to come across like I was hiding things. Judge said, can finding be pushed on a criminal level? It's not even GP records were dismissed. Flip it there. Flip it there. That's bad, man. Sounds like it was tough. Flip it there, man. It's bad. Right, I submitted Mr. H. I submitted C100 in December and was told 19 weeks for the hearing. The notice has now come through for August, 30 weeks. Can I get a hearing listed earlier? I presume that would have to be East London Court. That's the only presumption I can come up with. If you've got a date that long and that far away, that sounds like it's got East London Court written all over it. Also, on the notice, they state that I have no contact details for the mother, so I haven't forwarded the notice. However, I know they have called her previously. Why don't they just ask her for address? That's a good point, actually. They say they have no contact details for her mother. Oh, but that's the whole point. They will find it's their job to find her and serve it. That's the whole point. Exactly. This is pathetic, man. It sounds like East London Court, this does. Can finding be pushed on a criminal level, not even GP records? No, they can't. The fact find cannot be taken to a criminal. It's the family court, like I said, it's a civil matter, private matter. Criminal court is separate. Like I said, you could be accused of GRAP, grape, in family court. It doesn't mean you'd be going to a criminal court. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Family court is Mickey Mouse. It's a circus. It's an act. It's a charade. It's a charade, all this back and forth to use the family unit, use the broken family unit to generate revenue. It's a charade. This is what I keep saying. Straight that, I'll tell you again. There's an aspect of when you walk into the family court, you have to treat it like a circus. Do not take it too seriously. Don't expect too much. Just go in and just do your best. Right, cheers at Stray from Mr. Cal. Cheers at Stray Dad. Where was your hearing? Now I have a young woman, Judge. Can you not just say FA isn't affecting the child? What's next steps for you now? Because you don't know outcome before you appeal. No, if you start saying that to the judge, I think if you're at a fact find, yeah, and financial abuse is being discussed, you could say, let's say there was abuse, your abuse towards a mother doesn't technically affect the child. You're not abusive towards a child, are you? But remember, the family court. The family court is built around the victim, the perceived victim. Because on the back of the perceived victim's emotions, all of this revenue is generated, this whole drama. So understand what the drama is. Understand the charade. At Cal Bedford, I noticed the fact finding. I noticed a FF. It's nothing to do with the child, bro. It's more about relationship dynamics. To be honest, now I'm trying to appeal and doing courses. Yes, bang on. That's exactly it. That's why fact finds are dangerous for fathers. And straight out, really, what kind of questions did they ask you? Helps me prepare. It should be about the child, though, because you two aren't together. What about Kafka's do they determine? Look, guys, this is what I'm saying. You see, like everything you guys are talking about, yeah? What about Kafka's do they determine contact now? I'll address that in a second. Let me just read the next one out. I've gone for sole care or custody resident parent based on the children having their home and routine and not in rented housing. That mother cannot afford, but I've been told by solicitors to go 50-50. I don't know what to say to that, really. Okay, why did the solicitor say, what was their logic? We need to know what their logic was. What was their logic in saying that? That's what we need to know. Straight out, Cat, just answer the question direct. Don't elaborate. They will scrutinize you, man. Pressure you. Remember, she's a victim. Yep, like I said, short, sharp, concise. Just stick to the answer. Don't get emotional. Don't get excited. Keep it simple. Mike was constantly crying, taking breaks. The tears and drama are one rather than being real. It takes. Oh, my case is likely to go fact find. Do both parties see allegations before the fact find so they have time to prepare, gather evidence, and respond? Yeah, you should get the. I think what happens is the Scott schedule. You determine your allegations. They're sent to both sides, so both sides can prepare, and questions potentially will be asked around those particular incidents. Logic is mother has the kids. It's simple as mother's not well. Mother's, what did I just say earlier about the main carer? She's the main carer. So they got you, He's the main carer. She's not happy. She's upset because you've been abusing the main carer. Hence fact find. Hence that controls your access and everything. All right, Dan can elaborate more another week, but always push to mention practice directions 12. In fact, finds in relation to the proportionality of any historic perceived DA to child arraignment. I like it, Cosip. I like it. Stray Daz, sorry, another question. Did your ex have much evidence, though? The thing is this, Cal, I just want to highlight again. I don't want to be negative. But look, these are the facts. It is based on a balance of probability. As we keep talking about this, she doesn't need any evidence. It is based on a balance of probability. This ain't criminal court. They don't need evidence. And many cases where you can demonstrate loads of evidence to counter, they might find you innocent on 9 things and just find you guilty on 1. That's enough. So the key is this. Go in best prepared. Discredit as much as you can. Short, sharp, concise. Don't get excited. You have to detach emotionally. Short, sharp, concise. If you've got the barrister, they're going to try and rattle you. They're going to try and rattle you, try and wind you up, raise their voice, all of it. Short, sharp, concise. Stay cool. Look humble. Be genuine and come across genuine. Don't come across arrogant. And go in best prepared. See, with the fact find, if you can sit down with your Mackenzie or Dan or whoever you're with, MFSF, whoever you're with, do the preparation, go over it, do the practice runs, have your story straight, ultimately, have your answers straight best you can, and know that you have to improvise on the spot, but ultimately we know it's lies, so it won't be too hard to just pick it up or bridge the gaps when you're in the sort of when you're in court. But the key is expect nothing, treat it like a circus, don't take it too seriously, because all you can do throughout this whole journey is do your best and best present yourself. Even if I get back to court at some point, right, I'm not relying on the courts, I'm not relying on any of this. I'm just going to go in and still do my best and focus on me, focus on what I can do, what I can present. I still treat it like a circus. I don't expect nothing, but ultimately, I still believe that my children can win somehow, by some miracle. By the power and grace of God, anything is possible. And you have to have that belief, you have to have that strength in the spiritual gas tank, in the higher power and something external, because we are dealing with this circus. This is what I keep saying, you and you alone is not enough. You need the higher power with you. Right, I'm drafting my Scotch schedule. I'm currently having 25 points. Is that too many? And I have evidence for all the points. Scotch, actually, I'm not too sure. Let me think. I'm not sure. Let me come back to this. Let me think for a minute. My knowledge is not too polished lately. Right, at Cal Bedford, I had enough of, man, my solicitors at the time didn't submit, or I asked twice to submit more, was denied. Stick to your statement. This is the thing, Stray Dad. You've got a solicitor you're paying for, yeah? You're paying for all of this, and he doesn't look like he's doing what he's supposed to. This is why, like I said, you need to go with Dan or a good Mackenzie, a lot cheaper. And obviously still vet the Mackenzie, make sure you get the right Mackenzie. But let's say, for argument's sake, go someone like Dan. He will at least cover all the bases best he can, cover all the bases before you go, giving you the best chance. They didn't submit all. I asked twice to submit more, was denied. Yeah, I think, listen, stick to your statement, short, sharp, sweet. And the judge that reads the statement before the hearing, the judge will read the statement. Yeah, that is your moment to get the judge's eyes and ears. And if that's like a War and Peace, he ain't gonna read it all. So one A4 page if you can. Keep your points concise and clear. And if that statement can catch the judge's attention at some level or other, can help sway the decision, sway the direction. Right, that's West. I didn't even do a big statement. I respond to allegations. You just put deny next to everyone. Okay. Group is right. Even GP records got dismissed. Stick to your statement. Found inconsistent with me and my statement because I elaborated. Yeah, exactly. Don't get carried away. Don't waffle. That's called waffling. When you start waffling, yeah, they draw you in. You start waffling and then lead you down a rabbit hole. This is exactly it. This is what they do. And this is what I'm saying. In order to you have to keep your emotions in check. If your emotions are not in check, that's when you start waffling. You get drawn in. You feel like you need to overcompensate, over-explain, and then bang, they get you. They trip you up, and that's how they get you. And the key to keep your emotions in check, you have to train yourself. You have to do the breathing exercises, a bit of meditation. I'm talking daily habits, daily meditation. Meditation reduces the amygdala in the brain and thickens the prefrontal cortex, keeping you calm in these panic situations, but you've got to start putting the time in on yourself. It's bad, ain't it? Because we know the truth as well. That's why I didn't do a statement. I think all of this just reminds me how much you need to work on yourselves ultimately. Family court, one thing family court and all of this has taught me is more about myself than anything else. Knowing who you are, knowing how to present yourself, understanding firstly how you come across, how people see you, how you are perceived, how you communicate. Do you get triggered? Do you get emotional? What triggers you? What triggers your insecurities? When do you start waffling? What makes you start waffling? You have to start being self-aware. And in the court, this is what I'm saying, when you truly treat it like a circus, you don't take it seriously, you won't get emotional and you won't get triggered. And look, I've been there, I know this. And the way Cosip has highlighted it is, you need to keep your performance on point, like the closing courtroom scene of My Cousin Vinny. Exactly. My Cousin Vinny. You need to treat the courtroom like how he did, right? What's his face? Not De Niro. What's that little fella's name? Just Joe Pesci? Yeah, Joe Pesci. How he treated that courtroom like a circus. He didn't take it seriously. He was just having a laugh. That's how you got to treat family court. You cannot take family court seriously because this is where people burn emotional fuel and they burn out. They burn out inside. Family court will eat you up and spit you out, chew you up and spit you out if you let it. And that's what family court has done to many fathers. And this is what I keep saying. All you can do is work on you, work on yourself and what you can present. Take this opportunity to work on yourself, work on your performance, work on your presentation. And then take from this and see how you present yourself to the world in general. And if you go in emotional, like that guy last week, yeah, Mr. J went in emotional. Again, I want to talk about this just in case some of you guys missed it on last week's stream because this comment was made at the end. So this brother went in for his first hearing, non-mol hearing. The first hearing or the last one, or what? One of the other. I think it was one of the. I think it was his first non-mol hearing. Yeah. Well, first or second, whichever one it was. He spent $9 grand. Loads of inconsistencies. Mother didn't play ball. Documents not submitted properly. All of that. And now he's got to go back. And Kafka's got to do a report. But he pinned everything on it. Barristers, solicitors, $9 grand. And the judge still sort of gave into mother's drama. And I said to him, get a Mackenzie. Don't waste this money. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. This is a 15-round fight. Don't go in for an early knockout, because if you don't get it, what then? And you're stuck there unprepared in a 15-round fight where you was hoping to get out within 1 or 2 rounds. This is why you have to slow your mind down. You have to compartmentalize your emotions. You have to put your children aside. Do not look at their pictures. Do not look at their photos. Do not look at things or do things that remind you of your children. Do not go places that remind you of your children, because you need your strength. See, I don't know if you guys remember, right? Yeah, but in SAS, that program, SAS, He Who Dares. Now, at some point after a few weeks, there's this moment where they arrange a video call for the people that are obviously in that challenge, in the SSEs, there's those doing the challenges. They arrange a video call with their loved ones. And most people start talking, they start crying, these emotions come out. But in a few of those situations, in a few episodes that I watched, I think even Tony Bellew was in there on it. What he did was he turned the laptop off, closed the screen. He didn't engage, because he realized this will take my strength away. This will take my power away. He understood that. And this is the same. This is what I'm talking about. These places, these mental structures that you have to create. This is what I'm talking about, these paradigms. If you look at pictures of your kids, if you constantly tease and torture yourself, it takes away your power. Then you go in, you get let down, and you're even weaker than you were before. It takes away your strength. And just like SAS, He Who Dares, only those who were strong, they knew they had to keep that warrior spirit alive. They did not speak to their members or loved ones. They turned the laptop off, they closed it. And I remember that, and I understand that. Same with family court. You need to put your children aside. Think, right, okay, with the mother, they've got a roof over their head, they are fed, and they've got clothes on their body. That's all you need to worry about. And potentially, mother is taking them to school and keeping an eye on them. So understand the kids are safe, right? If the kids are safe, the fact that you're hurting and missing them, you can put that aside for now, because the work that you're doing, the steps that you're taking, the process, this meat grinder, that is the family court, this conveyor belt that you're going through, is you're doing your best. So now, knowing that you're doing your best, put your emotions aside. Your love, you missing the children, is just fuel for you to now continue and push yourself forward and get through this meat grinder. Everything is mindset. Like I said, it's the mindset and it's the approach, but you have to take control of the emotions, or the emotions will control you. This is a long road. Look, even with what Stray Dad's been through, it's a long road ahead. It's a tough road ahead. And before you even you don't want to burn out before you even get to the end. Right, I've got social services on my case. How much of an impact does their assessment have in court decisions? Mr. I, so when you say you've got social services on your case, are you talking about CAFCAS or independently social services? And why are they on your case? What's happened? Right. Right, I've got DA finding. I got DA finding over one message sent to my ex in 2021. Our child was born in 2024. And over one text, I'm a D abuser. Circus, simples. It is an absolute circus. No way have they said, no way have they said what contact you'll get. That's right. They won't listen. They won't tell you what you're going to get at this stage. This ain't the stage where they will tell you that. This will be over. Fact find will be over. I think CAFCAS will do their, I think if I'm correct, the Section 7 report. And then you'll go for a, what do you call it? Then it will proceed on to what the judge will say and what contact should look like, whether it will be or not, and it will go upon what CAFCAS has then recommended. Hold on, guys. Sorry, guys, one second. Right, sorry, guys. Someone just messaging. Right, Mr. Cal. I just had to do a response statement, but I could tell my story when I'm there. So I put denied and added some evidence. Yes, fair enough. Straight out, still seeing a little one once a week supervised. I'm grateful, but I think after a Section 7 if appeal is unsuccessful, might be different. Yeah, straight out. I forgot. I see some sense. I have to keep up with also. Yeah, look, I forgot you had contact. Okay, look, this is what I say. Look, there's no point worrying about it now. Let the Section 7 report come out. Do the appeal. Let's see what happens. Let the report come out. If you can do an appeal, do the appeal and let the Section 7 come out and we see where that goes, yeah? However, it's a single assessment on an individual basis, not CAFCAS. Hold on, let me just think for a sec, but I'll come back to that one. Straight out, they can't stop that. Surely makes no sense if it's working out and no issues. Right, someone's asked a question. Mother has now put child maintenance onto me. Can I offset these payments because I'm going to have to pay for contact center? If I remember last week we covered this and someone asked the contact center cost. Okay, listen, don't quote me on this, but do me a favor. Just skim over last week's stream and I'm sure someone asked the same question and said, can contact center costs be offset against some of CMS? And I'm sure Mr. Ryan said they were. I wasn't sure about it. I'm not sure if you could. But Mr. Ryan, I think, said that you possibly could. So yeah, just skim over last week's stream. Someone did ask that question. Yeah, listen, guys, I want to apologize. Mr. Ryan couldn't make it. He had some last-minute issues he had to deal with. So yeah, just make do with each other and me. Unfortunately, I can't get too technical. My court knowledge is currently very rusty. Right, Mr. Akal Bedford, I've done a mandate. Dismiss GP records. I'm sure anything's good. Look, Cal, this is what I'm saying to you, Cal. Just stick to the basics. Remain genuine. Don't get triggered. Short, sharp, concise. If you didn't do it, deny it. If you've got evidence, present it. That's it. Leave it at that. Do not torture yourself in your head about what about this, what about that, what if. And the thing is this is what I keep saying to people, every court appearance is different. Every judge is different. You might get lucky. You might genuinely get a decent judge. You might get a fair judge. It might go the other way. It has happened. We just don't hear about it that often. So I would say just go in with that mindset, stick to the basics, stick to the facts, present what you have. Don't get drawn in. Don't get emotional. Don't go on a rant. Remain humble. I say humble, I mean, don't give it the large, yeah. Don't throw your arms around, give it the large. Just remain humble, be polite, be presentable. That's all you can, that's the best you can do. Do your best. That's all you can do. That's all you can give. Did you have a QLR just appeal unfairness? Crown Social Services from Mr. Essay, Crown Social Services from, all right, don't know what that means. Straight out, no contact, same with payments. Don't apply if you're seeing your child supervised. Only if travel expenses exceed over £10 a week. Yeah, I didn't think so, but I'm sure Mr. Ryan or someone on last week's stream said you can. I'm sure someone mentioned this. I didn't think you could do any of this against CMS personally, but last week we spoke about this. Hold on, someone else has answered that. Hold on 1 second. Right, at Strader, contact center. I believe you can claim back, as previously mentioned. Log into their portal or call them. You receipts and don't forget to claim travel costs. Yes, you can. So the answer to the WhatsApp question on the contact center costs, yes, you can. Let me just double check that question again. Mother has now put child maintenance onto me. Can I offset these payments because I'm going to have to pay for contact center? Right. When I say you're going to have to, until you actually pay for a contact center, until you have the receipts, you can't offset it. So you can't offset what you don't have so far. But according to what people are saying, and what I remember what Mr. Ryan said is you can. So yeah, so keep you do get there, keep the receipts and get onto the portal and yeah, get onto them. Right, can social services from a council call your new partner and disclose inaccurate court information about your ex, getting the outcome of allegations wrong, thinking of complaining? Yeah, we covered this. See, even this was covered a few streams ago, where social services can speak to your partner, tell them about your history or past so-called allegations. But yeah, listen, I think complain anyway. Screw it. Whether you can complain or not, I say put a form in and complain anyway. Highlight the inaccuracies. If you've got the receipt, if you recorded the phone call, ideally you've got the evidence. Bam, bam, bam. Highlight it. Make a complaint. Right, Stray Dad Contact Center, because I believe your claim acts previously mentioned. Log into the portal, call them. Yeah, that's it. Fair enough. Okay, thanks, guys. I'll try again. Yeah, listen, try again, but I think Stray Dad, like I said, it's a tough old road. And if you're not emotionally burnt out, you can try. You could try 10 times, right? You can, if you don't emotionally burn out, you're not burning emotional fuel. You can just keep trying indefinitely. But the key is you're not burnt out. You treat it like a circus. Don't go in with any expectation, yeah? Because at some point you've got to look after yourself. You need to be in a good place. Whatever happens at the back of this, you need to be able to be together, function, and still get on with your life and live for you. You still have to live for you on the back of this, yeah? Except that there are certain things in this universe that are outside of our hands, and there are certain things that just operate out the paradigm of this universe, like the family court. They are on a completely different, it's from a completely different galaxy, the logic that they operate on. So unfortunately, that's something that we have to accept and live with. And I said, like I said, focus on you. And what I'll say to you straight there, look, take time out for yourself. Take time out for yourself. Take the weekend off, go somewhere. Take time out to do things that bring your soul joy. Yes, I know we're going through this. I know it's brutal, but seeing your child once a week currently, things may improve. I would say take time out to soothe your soul. Remind yourself of your hobbies and interests and what you did before this whole drama. Things that brought a smile to your face. I want you to take time out and go and do some of those things, yeah? Self-love, self-care, because whatever happens, you still need to be in a good place. And God forbid, not God forbid, God willing, inshallah, I pray that in the future, at the end of this second fact find, at the end of your trial, at the end of your case, let's say they give you, 50-50, or you get weekends or whatever. Let's say you get some good contact. You need to be in a good place to make the most of this time with your children. You need to be, your soul needs to be nourished. You need to be full of energy and life to give to your children. So take time out for yourself and build yourself up along the way as well. Do not let this consume you. You only let this consume you if you can use this as fuel against the system. If you can use this to work on yourself and build yourself, yeah? So take time out, soothe your soul, do things that make you happy, do hobbies and interests, gym, go for a walk, swimming, archery, horse riding, whatever you're into, computer, tech, tech weekend with tech people, whatever it is that you're into, go and do that, yeah? Take some time out. And find some peace within yourself. And then, yeah, when the time comes, you're in a good place. You know what I mean? Whatever happens, you're in a good place. and you're in a good place where you can fight on because you're not burnt out. Right, Mr. Amp 786, do a one-off for the most time you can get, and also a train ticket, etc. Do a one-off for the most time you can get, and also a train ticket, etc. Show them one receipt, and you can offset more. Then get the bus instead of a train, as an example. Right, presume this is to do with the contact center cost. So I'll read it again so I understand. Do a one-off for the most time you can get, and also a train ticket, etc. So then one receipt, and you can offset more. Then get a bus instead of a train, as an example. Right, I presume that's for the older child maintenance. Fair enough. Also, another quick one, guys, another little update I've got to give you, because what it is, during the week, every week, maybe all day, every day, I speak to 2 or 3 people. Phone calls go from an hour, 2 hours, 2-3 hours are spent on the phone just trying to help random people, regular people, people I've been speaking to from the start of their journey, just supporting them, pushing them, motivating them to just keep going. Now, the problem is, I found with these phone calls, that time is gone. That help is one-to-one. Where now I'm thinking, instead of spending, that's 2, 4, 10 to 15 hours a week just on phone calls, randomly talking to people, if that phone call was on a private group, private coaching group, like a school group, or even say on YouTube, what do you call it, on when you have the little private section on YouTube. I completely forgot. Patreon page. I don't know if they can do private groups on there and calls, but let's say like a school group or a private Patreon group or some sort of group where we can come on live on a private platform, just school or Kajabi or something like that. If we could get together on a private platform, so these Sunday streams will still continue. Mr. Ryan, me, will continue to offer the knowledge and support. But in the meantime, instead of me talking for 10, 15 hours one-to-one, imagine if we just did one call, 2 hours, or 1 hour a week, or 2 1-hour-a-week calls on this private group, and we can talk to each other openly, support each other. It's not on YouTube, it's not to the public. There's certain information that, got to be careful how we say it and what we say. And Mr. Wright has to be very careful how he presents himself and what he's seen to be saying as well. Whereas if we had this private call, that conversation that I have one-to-one with a father every day, that could be like, there could be 10, 15 people listening that could benefit from that one conversation. Now imagine all of us getting together, supporting each other, because a lot of it I find as well is a lot of these guys that I talk to, they're lonely, they're alone, they're literally just, they're alone and lonely and they're scared. That's harsh reality, man. This is the harsh reality. No big man thing. They're all lonely and scared. They feel completely alone. They've been let down by everyone. And people around them don't understand them. They don't understand the pain of loss. They don't understand the pain of losing a child. So if I was to arrange this, now obviously to run these platforms, school and Kajabi, comes at a cost. And ultimately right now spending 10, 15 hours on the phone every week. So if we could structure it to, 2 1-hour calls or 2 2-hour calls every week, private community, we all come on, talk to each other, help each other, offer advice, support, and help carry each other through. It would be £25 to £30 a month subscription, so that platform can keep running. It's only worth doing if 10, 15 people sign up. So let me know if anyone is actually interested in doing that. If anyone is interested in joining, that way we have that regular support group. It'll be like a regular coaching group privately, and we can give raw live information privately, and we can tell each other exactly what we think and what we know, and what loopholes there are, how you can go about it. Some black and white, some in the grey area, because like I said, family court, this whole situation, it ain't straightforward. So if people are interested, on the back of this video, in the comments, even today, now, or email me if you are interested and you would be interested in signing up to join this private group, School of Kajabi, £25 to £30 a month. If enough people show interest, if I can get 10, 15 people show interest, then I'll at least 10 people minimum. If I can, get to sign up, then I'll pursue it. Otherwise, it's potentially not worth pursuing. But like I said, 15 hours a week, 10 to 15 hours a week on phone calls. And that one-to-one phone call only helps one guy. Where that one-to-one phone call could help 15 people in one hit. In that one meeting, you could get one bit of information that could change your whole outlook on the situation. One bit of information that could potentially change the direction of your case. Because like I said, there's little snippets of information and little ideas sometimes that give us ideas. So yeah, guys, let me know. Let me know if you're interested in the private community where we support each other on a weekly basis. Right, yep, in regards to contacts and costs, show slightly higher expenses to see your kids just to offset more costs and pay her less. Yes, very good idea. Very good idea. See, look, there's stuff like this, there's stuff we can talk about that in a private community, you can get some real gain. You can really talk about stuff and give real practical methods. Look, I've survived the system, like I said, back in the van for over 2 years. I navigated this whole journey, and I'm still in the journey, at the back of the van for 2 years. I've seen the impossible made possible. I know how I was shooting from the hip daily, and adrenaline daily actions and habits, how the mindset shift occurs, the daily changes in your persona and your perception, the environment, the ability to be flexible and adaptable any given situation every single day, because it's like family court, it will weigh you down. It's just constant bullets coming at you, constant bullets. Right, at Calbrother, good luck, man, guys. Thank you all. Stay consistent. Yeah, Stray Dad, all the best. Like I said, been on here an hour. See how we go for another 5 or 10 minutes. I might jump myself, but listen, Stray Dad, all the best. Email Mr. Ryan if you can. And if you need to talk, look, email me. You've got my email, disqualified.dads@gmail.com. We can have a little chat even before you go in. If you want to have a chat. But yeah, keep at it. Cal, all the best to you as well, Cal. With your fact find, email Mr. Ryan, like I said, or email me if you want to have a chat. But the key is just keep at it, keep chipping away, do your best. And go back over the videos. We've done streams on fact finds alone, yeah? So if you go back over the old streams and old videos, we cover just fact finds. Me and Mr. Ryan have got a video that just talks about fact finds alone. So look, go back and watch them. And yes, the key is, look, with fact finds, family court, this whole journey, it is accepted that along this road, you're going to feel pain. It's not going to be easy. The fact that you're going to endure pain is a given. You should be at the stage where you've accepted that you're going to face this daily pain. You should be able to live with that pain now. At some point, cross the threshold where you can live with the pain. Firstly, we've got no choice. Secondly, we have to continue. Thirdly, this is part of the process. There's 5 stages of grief. But in order to continue, like I said, you have to detach emotionally. We owe it to our kids to make sure we do our best. Win, lose, or draw, you know you did your best. You know you gave it your all. You know you stayed patient. You know you stayed composed. You know you didn't do anything silly. You know you didn't go wildly just shooting, throwing wild punches and got knocked out in the process. All of this is for the kids. As much as we love our kids, we miss them and it's hurting, we have to put that aside for them because we love them. We have to put those feelings aside. We have to put our own pain and hurt aside because we love them. Because we love them, We swallow this pain and we still continue. We still keep taking steps forward because we love them. Finance case, in response to my question, make allegations of coercion and abuse which have number being mentioned. Does this make her case strong in terms of finance settlement, etc. she might get? And house to stay for years. See, the finance, like I said, is technically separate from all the other stuff. Child access, all of this, financial hearing is completely separate. Will it play a part ultimately in the judge's sort of head? It's possible, but generally it is a separate. Finances are done separately. The financial hearing is a separate hearing, I think, because it is relying on numbers, facts, figures, and numbers, not like the other stuff. The other stuff's a circus. Finance, they're relying on facts and figures. And the coercion and the abuse, the way it plays into the hand of the finances is mum is looking after the children, mum is resident parent, mum is full custodian. That's why they sometimes start off with the coercive control, abuse, blah, blah, blah. Well, let me understand what you're saying. So what you're saying, Adam, is she's just made these allegations now. So you're telling me at the stage of the financial hearing, she suddenly randomly come out with these allegations? Right, okay, so in response to your questions in the financial hearing, she's coming out with abuse. Yeah, I think she's trying to play some sort of favor. I don't think it should be. Okay, so did the judge say when she's coming out, did the judge sort of direct her back, say, excuse me, ma'am, miss, whoever, we are not here for that. That is done and dusted. This doesn't apply here. I don't think it should. I don't know who's advised her to do that or why she's doing that, but I think they're trying their luck. They're trying their luck to try and get some favor from the judge, or trying to plant the seed in the judge's head. See, look, I'm a victim judge here, so give me some more. Yeah, I think they're just trying their luck. But ultimately, even child access stuff, none of that stuff ultimately is anything to do with the finances. It shouldn't come into it, from what I understand and remember. Shava, Mr. S, you cannot claim for contact center fees against CMS payment. See, look, this is what I thought, but then people are saying otherwise, and I'm sure Mr. Ryan mentioned on last week's stream that you can. I'm pretty sure he did. I didn't think you could either, but ultimately, this is what's now come out. So what I'll do is, listen, I'm going to make a note of this. When Mr. Ryan is here next week, we'll put it to him. Or if I can get Mr. Ryan on midweek so we can make up for today, we will try and put this to him, I think, just to cover the basis. Like, because I didn't think you could, but he's saying you could. And other people on today's stream have also said you can. But we'll get Mr. Ryan. I'll get Mr. Ryan on midweek, and we'll try and get him on for Wednesday night again to cover today. And we'll see if we can answer that question for you. But yeah, ultimately, guys. Yeah, look, normally, like I said, Mr. Cow, we're here every Sunday at 8 p.m. Mr. Ryan, unfortunately, last minute drop out today. So if I try and arrange one for Wednesday evening to make up for today, try and cover any questions that were missed today or things that I couldn't properly answer today. Yeah, we'll try and do Wednesday evening. I'll put like I said, I'll put the link out. You'll see the link on YouTube, and I'll put it out on Instagram and all the usual places as well where I send the link out. So look out for that. Can she say that children are 20 years old and in education, the other or under 16, and use that as a justification for not selling the house? Yes, she can, but like Mr. Ryan has said to you previously, Adam, that your argument is that you need a place to stay as well. You need money out, property because you need a housing as well, ultimately. So you just keep pushing. She could use that, she could try that. But from what Mr. Ryan said to you last time, judges are a little bit more mindful of the fact that father also needs a house to stay after this. He needs money out of the house. So yeah, I think you're gonna have to just battle your corner a little bit. What I'll do is, like I said, Wednesday when Mr. Ryan comes on, I'll try and get him on Wednesday evening. Try and do an hour Wednesday evening, try and cover some of this. What I'll do is I'll write these questions down and I'll try and cover these on Wednesday evening. Children are under 20 years old in education. Look, she's going to use the fact that the children need housing and they're with mum. That's a given. That's a fact that's a given. That's a given that she's resident parent and she's going to use that. I mean, the 20-year-old technically is an adult. I mean, still are 20 years old. I mean, the other are under 16. She could try that, but ultimately, like I said, you need to stand your ground because you need a place to say, well, you need to demonstrate that if you don't get this, if we don't do this, you ain't gonna have a place to say. Okay? You want the peas, bro. You want that bread. You want that money. You need a place to say. It's as simple as. So push that. Push that and present that you're struggling, you're hard up. Gotta go court this soon, second hearing. When is your hearing? When is your next hearing? Yeah, what happens is, look, sometimes what happens as well, yeah. Okay, let me tell you a little story, Adam, yeah. Sometimes what they do is, yeah, they do all of this before the hearing and on the lead up to the hearing. Let's talk about a little bit about John. See, I've forgotten some of this stuff. Now you've reminded me. What they do, Adam, look, I don't know how well it will apply to you or not, but in a few cases, this is what I've known, yeah. The other side will throw in all this unreasonable stuff back and forth before the court date. It's a lot of scaremongering, that goes on. Yeah, there's a lot of scaremongering that goes on. They build you up, so then, and then when you get there, before you walk in, even if you have the stronger position, they will still try and scare you, and they will try and say, do this and do that. But sometimes when you know you've got a stronger position, you have to stand your ground and say, no, it's all right, we'll go in and we'll do what we can in there. We'll fight for what we can in there. And then they might buckle. I know this one case here, where the guy said, like I said, he had a few properties and whatnot. And what happened was all the properties had mortgages on them, they had debt on them, they had other people's names on the properties and whatnot. But the other side still kept saying, he said, look, there's nothing here to take. They said, no, we're coming after you. We're going to go in, judge is going to grant us something, this and that. They had barristers, lawyers, again, legal aid, yeah? They came after him. He went all the way till, like I said, before they walked into court, they were threatening him, we're going to go in, you're going to lose something, it's best you give us this now. They gave it all the large, and the guy just said calm, said, yeah, no problem, we'll sort it out inside. And just before they went in, the other side then conceded because they realized they don't got nothing. But when you're alone, when you ain't got representation, sometimes they try and scare you. They try and front you out. They come out with all these tactics. They don't play ball. They'll ask for an unreasonable amount, thinking you'll buckle. But sometimes you just got to hold your nerve. If they're not agreeing, then you've got no choice anyway. So the point is this. If there's no agreement or anything at the moment, you've got no choice anyway. Yeah? You're going to have to go in. They're going to try their luck, or they're trying to heavy hand you, or they're trying to just break your nerve so you give in more than you should before the day. Or they give you all this drama, and then before you walk in, say, do you want to come to an arrangement? And then they come out with an unreasonable amount, maybe slightly less than what they're asking for now. So then you think, okay, listen, man, it could be a lot worse because this is what they were saying earlier in the week. They could be trying that. But I think if you've got a stronger position, like I said, you've done your homework, got all your paperwork in order, got your finances in order, you can demonstrate, then you should go in and stand your ground ultimately. That's what I think at this stage. Without knowing the ins and outs of your case, they could be bluffing you. That's the thing. But you know your case. So yeah, and what I say is, I don't know if you got representation or not. You're going in about a week. Look, I wish you all the best. I'll pray for you. But you got to speak to Mr. Ryan if you can. If I can get Mr. Ryan on Wednesday night, jump on. We'll try and cover some of this, yeah? So if you're going in about a week, Wednesday night, if I get Mr. Ryan on, we'll try and cover this. Right. Mr. S, I literally tried to claim it against my CMS payments last week, and they said it's travel only and has to be over £10 in travel costs. See, this is the thing with the CMS. This is the thing with the CMS, right? It's one story for one person and another story for another. And this is so inconsistent. It has been, and this is what I keep hearing. A lot of people have said this. One case they did one thing, another case they did another. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. It's not a fixed setup. It is all over the place. This just demonstrates that point completely. Do you answer questions on the second hearing? No representation. I think on the first hearing, I don't think there's many questions asked. So I think you just go in, say, right, this is it, blah, 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 financial hearing, blah, 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 the usual. On the second hearing, on the finance, I'm not too sure, to be honest. You mentioned it. I'm not too sure. I think you might. Let me think. Hold on. It's a while back. So that's a while back. So I dealt with someone. Or last time I talked to a guy about his finance case was quite a while back. If I remember, all things take off. First hearing normally is just a formality. It's a waste of time. They're going who's who, who's what we discussing, blah blah blah. Okay, back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You're in your second hearing. I don't know if they'll ask questions or not, but again, with most of these hearings, it takes 2 or 3 just to get the ball rolling properly. So how much will they go into it? I don't know. They might just read your positions initially. So they might say, right, what's your position? They might say, what's your position? As in, what are you offering? What are they asking for? What's the pot? What's the asset? How much we got? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is what mum's asking. This is what dad's asking. These are the statements. I think they just start dissecting what the assets are. So the first hearing is a load of crap, yeah. Second hearing, and someone just messaged me. Yeah, I think this is a financial hearing, yeah. So that's talking about non-law hearing. But I think all the hearings are pretty much the same, yeah. The first one's a waste of time, right? Yeah? You just come in, what's your name? Who are you? Why are you here? Second one, I think they'll start dissecting as far as the finance is concerned. I think what you have, what we got, what they're asking for, what you're asking for, where we are as far as the negotiations are concerned. And in the third hearing, the judge might say, right, go away, see if you can come to a resolution. If you can't, then at the third hearing, the judge might then start dissecting a little bit more. So just prepping a position statement and proof. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so these statements might be checked and read out on the second hearing. Mum's going 100% for everything. Look, okay, look, let me put it this way, yeah. This is standard, isn't it? She was going to go for 100%. She wasn't going to say, well, let me only go for 50, 60. This was expected, yeah. They're going to get nasty. They're going to go for everything. They want to try and fleece you. They want to break you. They want to break your spirit. They want to break you emotionally, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, and financially. And a lot of these cases, like I said, they get aggressive with 2 things. They get aggressive with 3 things, actually. They get aggressive with the parental alienation. They get aggressive with the allegations. And they get aggressive with the finances. They are very much the aggressor in every single way. Yeah, the judge will hopefully at least give some outline as to what's realistic, I believe. Yeah, he has to give it on the second hearing, so he might give some outline, yeah, as to what is expected. Look, while I say, look, jump back on Wednesday night. I'm going to try and pin Mr. Ryan down, yeah, and say, look, you need to jump on Wednesday to make up for this. And if you can answer, even if you jump on for 30, 45 minutes, Wednesday evening, you can just answer some of these questions to help some of you guys who are going in court within a week or so, ultimately. Today, like I said, my knowledge and info is a bit rusty, I must say, but I'm taking it back. Since Mr. Ryan's been dealing with this side of stuff, I've just taken a back seat completely, switch off from it for a little bit. As you know, I've been focusing on more on the mindset, the coaching, self-improvement, elevating your life, elevating your knowledge, information, how to build coping mechanisms to survive and thrive ultimately, even though your children are not with you. Have to build yourself up again. Have to build yourself up again and surpass the limits of where you were before. Have to surpass the limits of your own perceived potential. This is what I work on. This is what I do. There is no legal aid for okay, this is the thing, Adam. For financial hearings, there is no legal aid. She has to fund it herself, or what they say is they look at what assets she has and say, right, this is going to be the legal. This is going to be the bill for the financial hearing, and we're going to take it out your assets. So ultimately, what the legal aid lawyers do, again, like I said, scum of the earth. They have loopholes and systems for everything, right? Absolute scum. What they do is they take the legal aid money out of the family pot. So if your house, let's say you've got 100 grand worth of assets, they say to her, we will represent you, but we will take 20, 30 grand the cost of this out of that 100 grand. So let's say she's going to get 70. They're going to say, right, we'll take the 20, we'll get the 50, and he'll end up with 20, 30, whatever. They take it out of your pot, basically, your family pot. That's what they do. Someone just messaged me and said, you're doing a great, hold on, what did he say? Let me read it out properly. Right, you're doing great with that, Mr. Ryan, brother. Good show tonight. Listen, man, I appreciate that. I was getting a bit worried about how am I going to manage? I've got so used to having Mr. Ryan there. I've done a few on my own. I've had different guests, but the Sunday night stream, it's like clockwork now. He comes on, we have a quick chat, we answer the questions back and forth, boom, boom, boom. He does his bit, I do my bit, and it just works well. But without him, like trying to manage it all now, I felt a little bit like a fish out of water. But you know me, bro. I'm going center ring, no matter what happens. I'm coming center ring, bro. I said I was going to be here, so I'm here. And then I thought I'll drop off in an hour. Yeah, I'm getting 1 hour 20 minutes on my own. Do they have to disclose what her charges are on the second hearing? That's a good question, bro. You've got me thinking now. Okay, look, this is what we do, guys. Adam, jump back on Wednesday night. I'm going to try and get Mr. Ryan on for 45 minutes. We'll try and go from 8:15 till 9 o'clock on Wednesday, yeah? I can pin him down and we can cover this. But the lawyer don't know what the charges are going to be because they don't know how long this is going to go. If it goes to 3, 4, 5 hearings, you can't come to an agreement. They keep racking up the bill. That's the point. They keep racking it up. But the lawyers will be fleecing her to take money out of the family pot. That's what they're going to try and do. The judge will try and push for you guys to come to an arrangement because he knows that this is going nowhere ultimately, yeah? The judge knows this. The judge will try and get you guys to come to an arrangement. But it sounds like they're being stupid and stubborn, but this is what I'm trying to say. The game they might be playing is, we'll come in here, we'll push him so ridiculous. They're doing what? Look, this is what I call they're doing the Donald Trump on you, the Trump method. They come out with something so ridiculous and crazy, something so mad, that eventually, because your brain is now thinking this, they want 100% something so crazy. Eventually, your expectation is right. Okay, so when they come out with something even a little bit lower or somewhere down here, eventually that you accept. I think this is a little bit of, you got to fight fire with fire. This is a little bit of like, nah, I ain't accepting shit. Screw you as well. You're gonna have to take a little bit of that dog fight, bro. It's gonna have to be a little dog attitude. So you're gonna have to do something, bro. You're gonna have to do something, man. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna have to jump back on Wednesday. We'll see if we can cover it. But you're gonna have to. They're gonna come in ridiculous. They're gonna come in with that. So don't let this phase you. What I'm trying to say is, do not let this phase you. They're coming in high. They're coming in stupid to then rattle your expectations. They're trying to rattle you. So stand your ground. Go center ring. Be ready to push back. As simple as that's the whole point. You need to be ready to now push back. Yeah. Don't take this shit off them. Yeah. I've read Mr. Ryan again, so I can say what I like. I don't have to be too PC, though. Mr. Racine, God bless you, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you. Adam, bless you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, so look, whoever's watching, for all of you that are still here, 15 of you watching, look, guys, please hit the like button as well. Like, subscribe, follow, and share. And I just want to highlight again. Now, listen, I keep talking, everything is mindset. You can only control you. You can only control what you put in through here and your actions and what you do and how you present yourself. Now, there's a situation this Adam. If they're there for 100%, you're in a position where you say, screw it, I've got nothing to lose, so I'm going all in. So I say you go in, go all out, make it clear that you ain't giving this up. You're not going without a dogfight. Ultimately, if you can highlight to her that these solicitors, they're going to take off, they're going to take from you, they're going to eat off of you, girl. Do you know what I mean? They're going to take the money away from the children. If you can get that message to her, do that. Make it clear, and also they're trying to rattle you. Do not let them rattle you, yeah? How can I call you? Come online. Right, I'll tell you what. Let's do a video call. Where are we? I'm going to put a link in the description now, yeah? I was going to jump off, right? But you know what? If you want to come on Talk Live, if you click on that link, you can come on live. Boom, I'll bring you on. Me and you talk live tonight. How about that? Jump on, brother. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. My bad. See that? Got distracted right there. Apologies. Said it, and she not backing out. Okay, look, bro, she's gonna be stubborn. They're gonna try it. You're gonna have to just go through that second hearing. You're gonna have to go through the motions. Go to that second hearing. Get in front of the judge. Let's see what they lay out. Let's see what they say. I mean, whatever happens, they're not gonna give 100% everything. Whatever happens, yeah. So, judge will force. Is gonna have to force the action. You're gonna have to force the action ultimately. You're gonna have to counter, yeah. One time, right? Wednesday live is not 100% confirmed yet. I will put, like I said, you'll see the link on YouTube on the channel, but I'm going to aim for 8:15. Once I spoke to Mr. Ryan, I'll aim for 8:15 Wednesday, depending if Mr. Ryan is available. If not, what I'll do is I'll see if I can get another backup, Mackenzie, just so that we can cover some of this and we can provide the questions and information. Yeah. So that's what I say. I will speak with Mr. Ryan, and we'll try and do this. Right, listen, I've been on here, hour 27 minutes. We've got a live caller. Let's bring him on. Right, Mr. WH, what's happening? Can you hear me? Caller, can you hear me? Let me put you off and bring you back. Hold on. Mr. WH, can you hear me? Mr. WH, here we go. Can you hear me? WH, can you hear me? Caller, you are live on Disqualified Dads. Can you hear me? Come on, bro. What's going on? You're gone. She's got a bad line. You're a bad line. So look, I'm going to hang about for another couple of minutes. If he jumps on, I'll bring him back on. If not, guys, listen, we're here every Sunday. I'm here every Sunday. Right here, he's back. He's back. Mr. WH, can you hear me? Do you have... Oh, your reception's bad, bro. You need to get your Wi-Fi. So you've got Wi-Fi. Hello? WH? Mr. WH. Mr. WH. Right. I'm going to remove you and bring you back on, yeah? There's something wrong with your... Yeah, bro, there's something wrong with your Wi-Fi, with your internet or something, man. All right, I'll leave you on. So if it does kick in, you can start talking. But in the meantime, what was I saying? Yeah. So look, guys, let me know what you think about the private community school of Kajabi. I'll set it up. If I get 10 people, who are interested, then I'll set it up. I'll lay out the cost and set it up ultimately. But like I said, it's going to be a paid service, 25 to 30 quid a month subscription. Oh, there's some private messages here. Oh, yeah, WH not working on your side. You need to check your Wi-Fi, bro. It has to be your Wi-Fi or your 5G, or you need a stronger reception, bro. That's what it is. Comment. Have you gone through the case? Sorry, it was not working. Try again, bro. Try again. Yeah, Mr. Adam, going through what case exactly? I'm a bit confused. As I'm still here, let me know. All right, WH is back.
I hope it's working now. Is it working now, guys?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Oh, so sorry for that. Just basically, obviously, I've been following their channel, and just want all the boys to know that the whole process takes time. You really got to be strong. You really got to know that you're going to get there in the end. Obviously, my case has taken like 4 years, and
Wow.
to be honest with you, the only thing when I started this whole process to let the boys know is that I put my faith in God, and
Exactly.
if it wasn't for His blessings and Him being the true judge, which He is, eventually you're going to get through it. You know what I mean? So hats off to all the men in the group that are trying to change. We've all made mistakes. You know, sometimes the system seems a bit unfair, but truly, if you adapt and you take account of what you've done wrong, like I had to, truly you'll get through it. And I always said this before, and I said to everybody else, like, obviously it's Almighty God that's always going to get you through. Don't doubt the process. You are going to be upset sometimes, but after all of the pain and suffering, you truly will come out on the other side better. And it's all about the children, you know.
Yeah, I think that's a very well said, my friend. That is very well said. I just want to touch on what you said with putting your faith in God. See, I talk about it, but because there's people from all backgrounds here, I talk about, label it as spirituality, but ultimately, you have to you're against a monster. When you're against all odds, in order to have the belief to continue and carry on with everything you have, knowing that you're up against this giant, you have to believe in a higher power. You have to believe that He can make anything possible. The Allah, the Creator, God, whatever it is that you believe in, but the external power, the Creator, our Creator, let's call it our Creator. He has the power to do anything. And if you do not strengthen your spiritual gas tank, and this is why I keep talking about the spiritual gas tank, if you don't build the endurance, you don't build that gas tank, it will let you down. In the
100%.
moments of disbelief, in those moments of darkness when it seems hopeless, you will give up. And if it wasn't for the Almighty, I'd be dead right now, bro. Simple as I should more than likely be dead. I should be 6 foot under. That's the facts, bro. It's straight facts. I am only alive and well, and I look great, as you can see, purely because of Him, our Creator. And great adversity and great pain, we will all be tested. If we put the family court, the children, all of this aside for a second, we look at the trauma and the pain, we're all going to be tested. Life is going to test us one way or the other. We will all be tested, the rich, the poor, the wealthy, the famous, the common, me, you, all of us, and we are being tested. And this is a great adversity and great pain. And only from great pain can force you to reflect inwards and look at yourself. It's only great pain that can force great change. Remember this.
Yeah.
When you're coasting and cruising through life, you're on autopilot. There's not enough pain to actually want to change. But it is only great pain, great adversity that can force some real change within you. So I say, take this adversity, take this pain as an opportunity. I look at this as a gift now. I was given this gift. This trauma and pain, like I said, I see it as a gift, and I've taken it as a gift. Take it as a gift to elevate yourself, your thinking, your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. And you go to a better place. You go to somewhere different. You will experience life differently if you can take this and elevate this learning.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, obviously, because we all got cases going on, so I'm not gonna go into detail. You know, but like I was saying to everyone in the group, is that exactly what you said. A lot of men ain't spoken to in the right way. Is that I want to applaud every man in this conversation, as well as yourself. It takes a brave man and it takes a soldier to get through these steps. And why am I saying a soldier? Meaning sometimes there's tasks in life that you must take on. And we say when the Almighty God tests you, He wants to see, is this person true? So throughout all of this, we get stripped down. We don't, the things that you love, which is our children. And when you get to that point, because everyone will get victory in this whole process, because justice always prevails. But long as we look inside and we look at the little small factors where we think, well, actually, this was wrong, that was wrong, and I never would look like that into myself. That where did I go wrong? But the main point is that stay strong. I was saying I'm into training. I've been into boxing, and a few friends have said to me, "We'll see," was that you might to succeed, there's championship rounds. So we're all in championship rounds right now, meaning no matter how deep it gets, just check. Long as, like I said, you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, that was the old me. What is the new me? And the new me will be a person with healthy behaviors, someone that will appreciate the children, and you forgive your ex-partners, because whatever they done wrong, just forgive them. And whatever, if you've done yourself wrong, forgive yourself. So in a nutshell, basically, I just wanted to come on and say, look, stay strong. Have good people in your corner to advise you. I like this podcast, and I'm really proud of everyone in here. And I just want you guys to stay strong, because it isn't easy after what you guys have gone through, but there will be a way for you to get through, and just trust the process, meaning the higher power and Almighty God. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. Yeah.
Sure. No, listen, man, beautiful message. Listen, I appreciate you, bro. I'm proud of you as well. And I think you're right, man. Everything you said to the guys, proud of, appreciate all of that, bro. Appreciate the love, man. Listen, keep at it, tune in and dial in again. We're every Sunday, so dial in whenever you can, but we need these positive messages to boost the guys and boost each other and support each other. That's what it's all about, man. So thank you, and I appreciate you, bro. Honestly, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, God bless you guys. Yeah.
No worries. God bless. Take care. Guys, I'm going to end it on that. That was a beautiful message from that brother. I think he articulated it very well. I will say no more on it. Like, subscribe, follow, and share. We are here every Sunday, regardless if Mr. Ryan's watching, regardless of Mr. Ryan, we are here every Sunday. Like, subscribe, follow, and share. And over and out. Good luck. Stay strong. See you in the next one. And 5.